Welcome, focused learners, to an explainer that's going to take us on a seriously epic journey through decades of cultural and digital history. Today, we are looking at a phenomenon that has basically rewritten the rules of how stories survive. We're talking about a broadcast event that literally brought an entire nation to a standstill back in the 1980s, and somehow, fast forward to today, it's a modern digital juggernaut. It's dominating streaming, it's creating entirely new genres of music on YouTube, it's just wild. We're going to dissect the enduring power of the Ramayan and see exactly how this timeless story just keeps adapting and capturing the imagination of millions today. So, let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this, because this number is just staggering. On April 16, 2020, right in the middle of the global lockdown, a rebroadcast of this show pulled in 77 million viewers across the globe in a single day. 77 million. That officially made it the world's most watched entertainment show. It absolutely shattered global records, completely proving that this wasn't just some nostalgic hit from the past. No, it's a living, breathing, cultural force with an unmatched gravitational pull.
So you might be wondering, why does it command that kind of attention? Well, the source channel's bio actually hits the nail on the head here. It points out that the Ramayan isn't just a religious text, it's a massive foundation for cultural heritage and values. Through the highly dignified conduct of Lord Ram and the other characters, the series delivers this profound, universal message about living a disciplined, duty-bound life. It's basically a comprehensive guide to values that anyone, anywhere can tap into.
All right, Section 1, Origins of the Epic.
To truly appreciate where we are today, we've got to look back at how this all started. The original television series was crafted by creator, writer, and director Ramayan Sagar, and when it first aired on DD National back between 1987 and 1988, it was an absolute monolith. It captured a record 82% viewership. I mean, think about that for a second. 82% of the viewing public tuned in. Then, fast forward to the 2020 lockdown, and the contrast is just incredible. Its reincarnation into the modern streaming era didn't just find some small niche audience. It dominated globally all over again, hitting 7.7 crore peak viewers and completely breaking its own legendary footprint.
And, a huge part of the cultural weight behind Ramayan Sagar's adaptation comes from how meticulously it was rooted in the foundational ancient texts. The show leans primarily on two monumental works, the ancient Sanskrit epic Ramayan composed by sage Valmiki and the incredibly revered Awadhi epic Ramcharitmanas by Tulsidas. By drawing directly from these profound sources, the TV adaptation was able to carry the authentic, heavy weight of centuries of tradition straight into people's living rooms.
Section 2, the heart of the story, Ayodhya Kand. Let's move to and see how this builds.
Because the narrative core of the show is where the emotional hooks really sink in. This right here is the ultimate inciting incident of the epic, and it maps out in 3 clear steps. First up, King Dashrath makes the joyous decision to finally crown his beloved son Ram. Naturally, a huge wave of happiness sweeps through the kingdom of Ayodhya. But then, step 2, manipulation enters the chat. The maid Manthra twists the mind of Queen Kaikeyi, sparking this really deep jealousy. And that leads us straight into step 3, where Kaikeyi retreats to the Kopavan, literally the Chamber of Wrath, and demands 2 boons or promises from a deeply bound and completely heartbroken King Dashrath.
And the devastating nature of those boons was twofold. First, Ram is ordered to be exiled to the forest as a dweller for 14 long years. Second, the royal throne has to go to Kaikeyi's son, Bharat. The emotional gravity of this moment is just intense. Remember that disciplined living we talked about earlier? Well, Ram displays it perfectly here. He immediately accepts his father's forced word. He willingly gives up an entire kingdom and transitions into a forest dweller without a single second of hesitation, doing it purely out of duty and honor. The tragic departure that follows unfolds rapidly. Ram, his wife Sita, and his loyal brother Lakshman board a chariot driven by Arya Sumantra. The citizens of Ayodhya are so completely distraught that they desperately try to physically stop the chariot from leaving. But Ram, gently yet very firmly, insists on fulfilling his duty. He eventually sends Sumantra back and makes the final, heavy choice to proceed on foot into the deep forest. It's a sequence that honestly still brings audiences to tears today.
Now, along this journey, we get these moments that are deeply, deeply revered for their devotion. For instance, the exiled royals reach the territory of Nishad Raj, who immediately offers them his shelter and service. Later, when they need to cross the river, a boatman named Kevat is called. Out of pure love and reverence, Kevat lovingly washes Ram's feet before even allowing him onto the boat. It's this incredibly quiet, beautiful scene of devotion. And just to show you the modern staying power of this story, this specific episode alone has drawn an unbelievable 38 million views on YouTube.
Which brings us to Section 3, Epic Battles and Digital Milestones.
Now, what's really interesting about this is that these ancient stories aren't just sitting collecting dust in some archive. They are absolutely dominating the modern digital ecosystem. Just look at the sheer, staggering scale of audience engagement on YouTube for these specific, action-packed chapters. Hanuman crossing the ocean is sitting at a colossal 77 million views. Right behind it, the epic battle of Kumbhakarna has 55 million views, and the narrative of Love Kush pulls in a massive 41 million views. I mean, these are numbers that top-tier modern creators would literally dream of having.
Let's look a bit closer at that top video. This 36-minute episode features Hanuman's heroic, action-packed leap across the ocean. Along the way, he's facing down demons like Sursa, he defeats Lankani the guard, and finally meets Vibhishan in Lanka. The fast-paced, high-stakes nature of these epic milestones, it translates flawlessly to a younger, modern YouTube audience. It keeps them absolutely hooked to the screen, to the tune of 77 million clicks.
Section 4. Modern Devotion, Lo-Fi, Bhakti. But here's the thing. The translation to the digital age didn't just stop with uploading old TV episodes. Oh no, we are now witnessing what is probably the most surprising and fascinating evolution of this epic yet. It's being reincarnated into an entirely new musical genre. There's a channel aptly named Swag Sanatan that has pioneered a movement brilliantly merging the old with the new. They've taken ancient Sanskrit mantras, stotras, and bhajans, and layered them over chill, soulful, lo-fi hip-hop beats. They call it Bhakti for the now. It's this meditative, modern approach creating sacred vibes for today's young Sanatani, who wants to stay spiritually rooted but, still vibe with contemporary chill sounds.
And the numbers prove that this fusion is a massive, massive hit. The soulful Krishnaya Vasudevaya chant racked up 6.2 million views. The Hanuman Chalisa Kam Bhakti mix sits at 4.1 million views. Even really complex mantras like Om Narayana Vidmehe are approaching 700,000 views in this R&B flow format. Millions of listeners are actively seeking out this specific blend to find focus, peace, and spiritual connection in the middle of their chaotic modern lives.
The creators of this lo-fi bhakti actually encapsulate their mission beautifully with a very simple motto. Plug in when you need peace, play it when you need power. So the crucial point is this. We are watching a brilliant cultural bridge being built in real time. This modern format provides an incredibly accessible, completely friction-free way for a brand new generation to connect with ancient traditions. It proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that the essence of these epics is entirely adaptable to whatever the medium of the day happens to be. Which leaves us with this final, genuinely thrilling question to ponder. How will these ancient epics continue to evolve for the next generation? I mean, we've gone from palm leaf manuscripts to a 1980s television phenomenon to global streaming dominance and now chill lo-fi beats. The Ramayana's ability to adapt and inspire seems truly infinite. So what will the next technological leap bring for these timeless stories? Think about that, keep learning, and I will see you in the next explainer.